That's my wife, Vincent.
Vincent, nice to meet you.
Wife. Oh no, man, never been on an interview podcast. So when you asked, I was like, I'm not too sure. You feel me?
I had one person like turn me down because of that, and I was like, no, it's cool. Like I either way, like whoever wasn't down for it, I'd be like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot to.
No, I
ask.
appreciate you asking me. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think like I haven't really kept in touch with many people from high school.
Yeah.
So it was a welcome ask.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. Are we going? Okay, and sorry, I'll just introduce. Hey everyone, welcome back to Half Full TV. This is the second episode of It's Been a Minute, where I kind of just catch up with people that I haven't spoken to in a really long time. So I got my old pal Vincent here with me. Vincent, it's been a minute, friend.
What's good? It has been a minute. Super long minute.
Yeah. So we were just kind of like reminiscing on the way over here. He actually came in super early. We were like running a little bit late, but Vince was super chill and allowed us to come when we came. And we're actually located for all of the former Sham guys out there. We're at Pelmo Park right now.
Yes, sir.
There's too much going on, so we're kind of like away from the people. We found this beautiful kind of willow-looking tree.
Yes.
That's gonna be our backdrop, but we're near like the old ball courts and things like that. So that was always a fun time, right?
Ball runs every day after school.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Playing in your golf shirt. Having to wash it the night after.
See, I was privileged because this is the park that's near my place.
Yeah.
So I was privileged enough like I could go home and change out of like my uniform and things like that.
Yo, I swear I still have a jersey of yours.
Really?
The Bayanihan leagues? Because your older cousin
Oh shoot!
used
Yeah,
to hand
yeah.
them down to you, and
Right,
then you
yeah,
would
yeah.
let us borrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, you got all the Sham uniform and everything, right?
Actually,
Yeah.
I think they used to play on like a team called the Falcons, like all of my cousins.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I
them.
well, part of it, I mean, the privilege, yes, I got to change, but part of it was like, Bartlett, can I borrow some shorts? Or
Bro, Bartlett, can I have some water? That was the water.
You're probably
like,
wasting
yo,
a case every time you guys came around.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you would allow us to just chill in your basement after we played ball,
Yeah.
dirty socks and everything, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how you dealt with that, but
My parents
It's
were my parents were always cool with people coming over.
yes, sir.
Mostly because they didn't want me going out too much. So they're like, if you can stay home and just bring your friends over, that's fine with us.
I get that, yeah. It's like you're still social, but we can see you. We can like see who you're hanging out with. and stuff,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
There was one time though. Do you remember? I had you all over. We were playing like Dragon Ball, like
Dragon Ball.
all, like
on your-
like Tenkaichi or something. And then
yeah.
what happened was, I didn't tell them that you guys were coming over. So my dad comes home and he's all pissed.
I don't know if I was there for that, but I do
Oh, yeah.
remember like you wouldn't tell them that we're coming over. We're just there.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
yeah.
spot was the spot because we could walk to it. You
That's
know?
true. It was near school, but then I even mentioned this when I was talking to Christian.
Mhm.
Like, you still made it. You still came out because you guys still lived like a little bit of ways. At least when you were young, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, they live so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
No, the fact that we didn't have to use a bus ticket to get to your crib
Yeah.
made it worth it. You
For
know?
real. For real.
Yeah. Plus, your mom used to feed us all the time. I remember that. You know.
Yeah, she was always down for that, which is always
Of course.
shout out to my mom.
Of course.
But
Shout out to Tita. And Tito. Don't forget Tito. Tito, Kevin.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Gum Factory.
That was a while ago. Now he's a mailman now.
Same word.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Or
you
he
know,
does he works for Canada Post, but like
Cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
So like talking about the spot, obviously this has always been a big spot. Trying to think back, like when did we lose touch? You know, was it like just after high school? Like that was it, or
I feel like we graduated and we just kind of like drifted, you know?
yeah,
Like, didn't really keep in touch. We both went to York, which is crazy. Like we didn't link up
Yeah.
on campus or ever.
never.
We were in different programs.
Yeah.
Did you also go through the strikes?
Hold on, I was gonna just like hold it here, so like we're at the
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But so sorry, you were saying
No.
York with the strikes.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
through 2 of those.
Same here, man.
Bro, it took forever to get our degrees, right?
Yo, I mean, it took me forever because I slacked a bit. So plus I went to teachers college too.
Oh,
So
say
I was
word.
in school for like 7 years.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, when you say you slack a bit, I did the same type of thing. Like I knew I couldn't handle such a heavy course load.
Mm-hmm,
So to make sure that my marks were like okay,
yeah,
I took a bit longer than expected.
I did the same thing, and that's good advice for like anyone out there. Honestly.
Like
Take
you're
your
on
time
your
with it.
you have your own pace, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to rush.
Which is great because when you're in that space, you have the freedom to do so.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So like really explore it if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually crazy because we definitely could have stayed in touch for sure.
I think
But
so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially considering we live around the same area still.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. And
Life is just.
yeah. I mean, part of it too is like that. The reason why I'm doing this is that I told Christian the same thing. Is like I don't hold anything against anyone that I don't talk to anymore. It's just
We're still
life.
friends. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not no bad blood.
No.
It's not like we had a falling out. It's
Like-
literally just life just happened. Right?
Exactly. And it's weird because you never think that. Like when we were in that phase in high school, like it seems like forever. Man,
I know. You
and,
think you have that 4 years and you get to grade 12 and you're just like, bro, none of these people are going to my school, my program.
yeah.
Like they're going OT. You know,
Yeah, you have to
yeah.
kind of find a new, like you're always kind of running through circles and things like that. Like I'm lucky
Exactly.
enough to still have a circle that I've been with like for a long time.
Mhm,
Sometimes
mhm.
because sometimes you need that too,
Of course.
but you kind of have to be able to like adapt, right? And like
Mhm.
it's a lot of relationships. Sometimes they're just circumstantial,
Exactly.
Like we
It's
were
just
friends.
like
'cause-
proximity.
exactly,
I get
right?
that. Yeah.
We gravitated towards each other early because we were Filipino and like we had our own crew.
We all played ball. We
Yeah.
played brisk at the table.
Dude, oh my god, I didn't mention that at Christian, but funny enough, so if you ever went to Sham, like Briscola is such a popular game there.
Scopa.
Yeah, or Scopa. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this Italian card game. They use like Italian playing cards specifically. They don't use like the regular bicycle decks.
It goes up to like 12.
Something like that. It's definitely less. It's
Yes.
less than like a actual deck, and the cards are really small too.
We never played
But-
for money, but the strategy and the grudges, bro.
Yeah,
It's like I'm running straight from my second period
yeah.
straight to the table.
So you can get a spot.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
packed my lunch so I don't have to wait in line. You feel me?
True,
Always
true.
rice.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. It's funny enough because Christian and I were talking about our lunches and stuff like that, and he was
Yeah.
talking about how me and some other people sometimes we be the people who would finish other people's food.
Oh,
So like when
yeah.
Nathan or JM didn't finish their food, we're
Yo,
like
all
scrapping.
the time. It's just like, yo, it's up for grabs. Gone.
Yo, I know.
Yeah.
Yo,
If you're eating, you can't play.
that's true. That's true. You gotta eat quick.
Facts.
Part of it too is like, it's just so funny that like a bunch of Filipinos gravitated towards like an Italian card game, and it feels like we
Yeah.
played it like the most. Like there was a lot of people who played it, but I don't know why
Mhm.
we gravitated towards it so much. And we would,
It was a social thing, I guess, right?
yeah, and we'd be slapping the cards down,
Bro, we were very aggressive teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah,
playing ball with you guys, playing brisk with you guys, like
Yeah.
just seeing the level of competitiveness
yeah.
kind of made me like turn it up in myself too, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would say I was like pretty reserved in high school,
for sure.
and I'm still like pretty reserved, but those moments like I seen it, like the competitiveness come out of me.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
No,
you
I
know?
hear that. I mean, I definitely think I changed a lot too. I mean, I didn't see myself like being a teacher early high school because that
Yeah.
involved, me being in front of people and having to be so outgoing and things like that. And
Did you dread presentations in high school?
yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And I have students do presentations for me all the time, right?
Like
And-
on their ones,
So-
or like in class.
yeah, in
Okay,
class.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I tell them the same thing. I'm like, I was also not great at them, right?
Mhm.
I was a read off the projector person. No, don't make eye contact and things
Mhm.
like that. And
Paper.
just having my notes in front of me. All right, I
course.
did my part. Now I'm not
Mhm.
going to pay attention for the rest of the presentation.
Oh, how
But-
were you with group projects?
Like when I was young. Oh, I mean, we had. Were you okay? Speaking of group projects, I remember grade 12. Remember
12?
Writer's Craft
Yeah.
with Mr. Costa?
Bro, that was my highest mark ever. Shout out to Mr. Costa.
Yo, Mr. Costa, a real one, right?
Yeah, for
He was
real.
even. I did some student teaching at Sham,
Oh,
and he was still
wow.
there. Like
Wow.
and he still remembered me and stuff, which was
of
nice.
course,
He-
yeah.
cool
You're a good
dude.
student.
Yeah, I even saw like Mr. Paul and them too.
Oh
Like,
my
yeah,
gosh.
it was wild.
Is
It was
Mr.
wild.
Paul in the yearbook yet? Shout out Mr. Paul. Always
Mr.
dodging
Paul.
yearbook pics.
Yo, talking about that summer school experience though. For
Bro,
real.
he
Yeah.
funny story about Mr. Paul. He
Yeah.
caught me cheating off Nathan's test in summer school, and then the next summer I was his TA, and I caught somebody cheating.
Oh, for
And
real?
I'm just like, yo, bro, I was in the same boat. Like, just don't do it again. You know, like, at least change your 1-2 answer. You know?
Sure.
Like, you got all the same ones wrong.
What
and y'all were sitting across.
What did
each
he
other.
say to you when he
What did he say to me?
Yeah.
He's like, Vince, man, like, you don't have to do that. If you weren't prepared for the test, like, just come to me and say that. And I never had a teacher come at me like that.
Yeah.
It was more like accusations or just derogatory.
Sure.
And to see how calmly he approached it, I'm just like, wow, like, some teachers actually know how to approach those type of things. Because I wouldn't say I was a bad student, but I would say that I used to coast.
Sure.
Sure. And I guess you can relate in a sense, like just if your marks are B's, your parents won't give you
won't
likes as
follow
much,
you. Or
yeah,
whatever.
for
Sure.
real.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, you'll always remember the good teachers.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Pasquini.
And I like I was even working with Miss Achong for a bit too when I was there. Yeah. And like you remember those like relationships.
Of
right?
course.
Because as cheesy as it is, what I remember the most out of Teachers College is that one of the professors there was like, or the one that was handling placements and stuff like that is like, you know, students aren't gonna remember always what you taught or what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. You know, so in your scenario, like when Mr. Paul, like he made you feel like valid, right? Like that, you know, you were a person, and then you made a mistake, but he approached it in a way that was human.
Of course.
You know?
It makes you want to own that mistake instead of run away from it.
For sure.
You know, it's like, wow, you actually cared about seeing me.
Yeah.
And I never really, like, growing up traditional Filipino family, like, you don't have that type of stuff. You know? Like, it's like, oh, you're wrong, go to your room. You know, like, okay, what does that teach me? You know?
mean, it's teaching at a young age that sense of, like, accountability.
Of
Because
course.
sometimes, like, now that I'm, like, you know, I'm the old guy now, and I look at the youngins, and then
now that you're married,
for real, right? And I see that it's like you gotta have like learning that at a young age is super important. Like the way that was taught to you, that was probably extremely significant. You know,
I feel like I'm still learning it now.
Yeah, and so speaking about like speaking about like old teachers in that writer's craft class. I think we were in a group project for like our poetry like anthology or something like that.
The putting together the ISU.
Yeah.
Yo.
Like we made like a little album.
We made a magazine, right?
I think it was like an album, but we made like a booklet, so it's almost like a magazine, like what you'd find in an old album.
Yes.
And we put like we made like a little fake CD, but then we put like a little album that had all our poems on it and things like that.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
We went to John's place, and then we took like pictures there for like the album cover and stuff like that. We ran like a 2K fantasy league thing. That was fun.
Shout out to Ryan. He's the reason I got a PS3. I got a PS3 when the PS4 came out. I bought it refurbished at EB Games.
Dude,
I used to be at his crib every day playing 2K. And my parents got sick of it, so they got me a PS3.
Yo, I was always behind, man. Like,
yo, me too.
I mean, you know, I didn't grow up poor, but I grew up with the understanding that like this is too expensive and I can't get it, right?
I get,
because like there are bigger
totally
things,
relate.
there are bigger fish to fry.
Of
right
course,
now.
yeah. It's like, what do you mean? Food, clothes, place to live. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of growing up, thinking that you were growing up poor, it took me. I forget when I found out. I think I bought a refurbished game from like EB Games, and I found out my PlayStation, the original one, was fake.
No way.
They bought it from P Mall.
The console?
The console and all the games.
Wait,
and I'm like,
how'd you find out?
How did I find out? I bought NBA Live 2000 from the EB Games at Centerpoint Mall.
Yeah.
And I put it into the PlayStation, and it popped up the message that said like, "Oh, your console is not real. Call this number." I called the number every day, no answer, bro. Because it's like a PlayStation. It's old. This is like 2006, 7.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Bro.
Dude,
so when
terrible.
I say that, like, I didn't grow up poor, but I didn't grow up middle class either. I was like, it's kind of like my shirt sizing now. Like I'm an extra medium, you know?
Sure.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel like I've been through my life.
And you'll never, like, I never got that perspective until recently, you know? Like once you start paying for your own things, you realize like, yeah, why would they ever drop $300 to buy me a console?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
When like it's always a struggle,
Facts. Like, we should have bought houses when we were in grade 3, right?
Yeah, for real.
What was I doing? Dilly dallying,
gallivanting.
Oh my gosh, bro! You see how dark I am?
Yeah.
My mom told me I'd be gallivanting always, everywhere.
Gotta be home before the sun comes down,
Bro, no, that was impossible with how we used to play ball after school.
Yo,
Invisible ropes.
oh my god! You know what's so funny about you bring up that invisible rope?
Yeah.
I was literally watching that video today.
The one that he recorded on his iPod.
Yeah. So there's a video. I wasn't tagged in it, but I found it under yours. Like I stalked you for a little bit just to like reminisce, I guess.
Okay.
So I was on your Facebook, and there's a video that we're tagged in. It was over at the corner where my house is, like that
where
bus stop.
Gary is, yeah.
Yeah, where you would wait for the bus, like all the people who were going to the station.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing. It was in grade 9 because Chris Cruz was there. I don't remember Chris Cruz.
Yo,
Bonnie
Chris
was
Cruz.
there. I think Dimabuyo, all the guys who were there, right?
Everybody, yeah.
So what we did, I think we saw this on YouTube and wanted to replicate it because we're such cool kids pulling pranks.
Of course.
But so people would you'd line up like maybe one group on this side and one group across the street. You'd pretend that you were throwing a rope across, and then you would tie it to a pole or pretend like you're pulling it, so people think like there's something in the way.
We used to get cars to stop all the time. We're just waiting for the bus killing time.
Yeah.
Because the 59 used to come every half an hour.
Probably at that
Something
time.
like that.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
type of stuff. The type of stuff we used to do as Niners is like.
That's so funny. I gotta put that in the background while we're talking about it right now.
It'd be so funny.
That's.
I mean, we could have been out there breaking windows on buses like they used to, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I think about it, like we were good. Like we were okay. You know,
we were
like,
okay.
We
yeah.
had shenanigans and we talked and we just hung out and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
when I hear like what some kids are up to like nowadays, I'm like, whoa.
We used to see some of that in grade 9, but we'd stay away from that.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
It's like you guys are surface level people to me, and that's okay. Like
we had a solid group.
Yeah,
and,
we really
and
did.
We stayed out of trouble, and that turned out for the best, right? Because I feel like I don't know. Sometimes people will put on. Yeah, or put on this thing where like you have to go through that in order to think. It's like when you really don't, you can learn from other people's mistakes. You don't have to learn from your own mistakes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I get that.
Yeah. But that's wild. It's just wild that you mentioned it since I just watched that video today.
What else did you dig up on my Facebook?
Not much because like on so I looked at your Instagram, but you don't like you have a lot of posts deleted. It's just like
It's because
your posts.
you know what happened to my Instagram, bro? Like last year, I got hacked by one of those people getting like fishing for money.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, so I lost
that makes sense.
everything, bro.
Yeah.
It really sucked. I had a lot of memories and stuff on there. I had that Instagram since like 2013,
Yeah.
something like that. So after high school,
For real. Yeah.
or ish.
That's why I saw. That's why I didn't really find much. That invisible rope video was like probably the thing I found the most.
Yeah.
What do you just to spark something else? Like, what do you remember about like each other, like when we were in high school? Like,
About us in high school?
yeah, just like in terms of like who we were and things
about
like
who
that.
we were.
Yeah,
I think we were like you and I were pretty timid people. You know.
sure.
We would kind of be. There were times where I feel like they would bully us a little bit more because like I was short and he was a Twinkie.
Yo, Twinkie. Yo, that's. I was
Bro.
about to say. I was gonna mention too all like the nicknames that y'all.
We
had
were
for me.
so mean. We were so mean, bro. We were so vulgar and we were so like crass, I guess is
Sure.
the best way to
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah.
I always remember that you were a solid person. Like you were the person that we could go to, chill at his house, ask for anything, and you would be so giving about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we still treated you poorly, which is terrible, right? I feel like the nicest people get treated the worst. And
I mean, I always took it as like endearment, you know, because
I get that, yeah.
sometimes you're not gonna say that to someone you don't know, or you're not gonna act like
Exactly.
that way.
It's like we're close enough that I
Exactly.
can rip on you.
And I know that at the end of it, it's all love, you know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
So I never really took it too much to heart.
That's good that you didn't take it
Yeah.
personal, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it made me like I mentioned this in like a long time ago, like when we were doing a podcast, Eunice and I were doing a podcast together. It's like I had this sense of like a lack of identity sometimes with like being Filipino and being half. It's like
see. It's like you don't belong here, you don't belong there.
yeah,
You're in your own space and you're just
Yeah.
like, how do I navigate this? You
Yeah.
know? Like pusit, opposite. Sorry, the hand motion.
but I get There was a different podcast that I saw a clip of, and it was more like second generation Filipino. Sometimes you feel that same way too, where
like you didn't get taught Tagalog growing up, right?
Sure, right. And if you don't speak it, you're not Filipino enough, or
you don't have an accent.
Sure, you don't know what it's like to live like home.
Yeah, like
right?
Yo, you ever been back home? You don't know what it's like to wear chinelas.
While playing ball in 40-degree weather.
Yeah. You never dealt with a typhoon?
Yeah. Hey, when I was in the Philippines a few years back, they schooled me with wearing chinelas.
They be rough out there. I remember going back to, and I just felt bad playing in shoes, so I played in slides. I almost bust my head.
Yo, I don't know how they do that, man. Their ankles must be steel.
Somebody told me it's better to just play barefoot.
I think so too, because like with the chinela, right? Like you can get caught, like your foot can get caught. It's like just flopping all over.
But with the slides, they literally slide. Your whole foot come out, and you're just like, what?
I definitely don't want that. I
get that. But yeah, you were always a good kid in high school. There's a reason that people were drawn to you, right? Like you were a part of our group, but you also had your own like thing going on as well.
Yeah, like outside of school and things like that.
Of course, yeah. You were always an artsy kid. You could play every instrument, ukulele. Piano, guitar, bass. I know that like that came from church, but also it came from like you practicing it personally. So you were a very dedicated person.
No, I appreciate that. But I remember like for you, like with being in the group, like as much as you were timid, you were still like the one who would like make me feel comfortable, like in the group, because like I wasn't ever the one to initiate something or say something, but you would kind of like have my back, right?
When you spoke up?
Sure.
Okay.
And even too, like you kind of helped me break out of my shell like a little bit, because I remember, like I was always I gotta behave like perfectly to like so I can always stay in my lane and not stick out and not get in trouble or things like that, right? But like it was always like little things, like remember Saj's class? Sajatovic, like
computers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And how that was almost barely a class, but at the beginning I was like,
you were trying to do all the work, bro.
So okay, it was this class was so nothing that I don't even remember what it was. It was either computer sciences or computer engineering, one of those things, right? So that class just turned into us playing like NFL Blitz or NBA Live 2K or like
it was live. It was live. Yeah, it was live.
And on like an N64 emulator. Or just playing like random, like all the other people were playing like Counter-Strike.
Oh my gosh,
and things like that. Remember Savati was in that class?
Daniel Savati?
And every morning, because we had it like first period, he was like, and guys, let's stand up for our national anthem. And he would play the 20th Century Fox theme.
But the ocarina?
Yeah, the flute one.
The messed up one. And we'd all just be there with our hands over our
while
hearts.
the teacher's there.
Yeah.
And
he's standing too.
And at the beginning, it's like, okay, first of all, like that class was a nightmare. But at the beginning, like I was so concerned about like, oh my god, like I need to like do the work and make sure like I'm whatever.
To a T,
But there was like, I had to be able to kind of like
balance
it. I couldn't just be super keen all the time, or else like I would feel burnt out. But sometimes, if you want to like goof off in the healthy way, and sometimes that's okay. And
I feel like you'd always make sure that your work was done before you'd even start playing. You'd be watching us and you'd be like, suckers. I'm gonna get an 85 plus and you're gonna be here crying.
Or even like we would even be watching we would watch the NBA highlights. It was because it was me, you, and you and Felix. This was in the class, right?
Felix was in that class.
It was me and Felix, and then we would watch all the NBA highlights from the night before.
Yes.
Like back to back to back.
Oh, the top 10, right?
Yeah, or something like that. Or just like the game highlights, or like seeing what the scores were.
But I remember you in NBA Live, you'd always make sure you use the Raptors to get to the finals and then win it and be like, yo, we finally got a ring.
Yes.
We finally got a ring.
I don't have to say that anymore. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
That's once in a lifetime.
Exactly.
I would do the same thing if I'm playing like 2K career at home. I always want to be on the Raptors. It's like, oh, imagine this happened. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you around downtown a lot when the Raptors won the trip? Or
I went to the parade.
yeah.
Yeah. I made sure to like remember how they used to show the games in like cinemas.
Yeah.
Used to go.
Yeah. That's cool.
2019. So like you're just starting to get like financial freedom and starting to like
Ooh.
go out to bars and stuff and like watch the games with your friends.
For real.
It was different, you
Yeah.
know. And to finally get a chip, because we were like,
Dude.
we love the Raptors
For
because
sure.
we were born here and it's like hometown, home team, you know. Like,
Actually,
right.
I feel like, and there was a point in time too where we had a weird, because the Raptors weren't ever making it anywhere in the playoffs. We had this weird like Celtics Lakers rivalry within our group.
Yeah.
Because we had
Kobe,
like,
bro. Kobe.
we were Celtics. We were on the Celtics side, I think. No.
I feel
I know
like,
I was.
Yeah. I
And-
know you were Larry Bird.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But not relevant then. But I was always like, yeah, Rondo, Pierce, Garnett. Right. I was
feel
like,
you.
I was on that train
Yeah.
for a bit.
I like the Celtics too, just cause what's his name, Rondo.
Yeah.
You know, like I was always that guy that would do the try to behind the back
Yeah.
fake pass.
I remember that.
Throw out my shoulder trying to do that, man.
Throw your on your shoulder at 15 years old. Jeez.
Literally, bro. I was a demon for no reason, you know.
That was our only form of physical activity was ball.
I know,
So-
like we never branched out. You always tried to put us on different sports. That's what I remember about you too. The fact that we referred to him as a Twinkie meant that he had all the equipment for different sports,
Yep.
and we didn't appreciate it at the time. You know, we could have been playing baseball. You know, we could have been playing football. I still can't throw a spiral, man. Like,
Yo,
I wish I took that opportunity.
barely, but yeah, like I was always the one I could find. Even now, I mean, I could always find like an appreciation to any sport.
Of course.
Like I started learning like cricket recently. And, like,
oh wow.
I mean, cricket. It's kind of a
Exotic.
cool sport.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of those that like it's kind of like watching football, and then you're thinking like, that looks boring, and then you start playing, and you're like, bro, the stamina this takes.
Sure.
It builds the appreciation, right?
I think part of it too is like when you don't understand the rules of the game, then it's like it's meaningless. So if you
That's
understand
why
like
I
how
appreciated gym.
yeah,
Yeah, learning-
getting to play a lot of different sports, I love
Exactly.
that, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's funny you bringing that up. I taught phys ed for a bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was only like temporary because I'm like a temporary teacher. Like I just go in and out.
Oh
when
no,
I
you're a
can.
temp. School of Rock.
Yo, I'm a sub taking making them play a concert. Nah, so because in gym like they do, you know, or phys ed, you do like a lot of different sports and stuff like that. Every time all the kids are like, so why don't we just play basketball? All I want to do is play basketball. Blah 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 blah. And me being that like find the appreciation in all sports. All I have to hear is when we're playing something else. Sir, this sport sucks. Oh, la, la, la. And I just gotta hear that all the time.
Just because you're not good at it doesn't mean it sucks, you know. Like,
or just because you don't understand it or don't play it,
like,
right?
bro,
Yeah.
did you even try? Like learning about football and seeing the routes
Sure.
and like the different positions. I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow,
You
I
got
wish
all
I
that-
beefed up to be able to play that. 'cause
You got that
football
from
was
NFL
big.
Blitz. You got all the plays that you run.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your go-to. I'm running.
Bro,
I'm
us
running
playing on
this.
computers. Yo, you thought Brisk was competitive?
Yo.
Blitz was competitive.
Last minute touchdowns and all that stuff.
Literally.
That's pretty hype.
Literally, yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, it's hard to kind of get teenagers to be open-minded about anything from what I've learned so far
I get that.
teaching. But like, if you're younger and you're watching this, just be open-minded when it comes to anything, right?
Of course.
Just learn to appreciate different things, because with sports or with food or art or anything like that has to do with culture.
exactly.
And because I link those things to culture, like that has some significance, like beyond or like based on someone's roots.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I never try to like bash on anything that I don't know about. Just being
like you
able
want
to
to know about it first, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's important to be open-minded, man. I
Sure.
never thought I'd like break out of that comfort zone, but
Mhm.
the thing about life is like you're gonna move and it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if you're not equipped to deal with that
Yeah.
growing up, and you stay comfortable for a long time,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna chuck you one day, and you are gonna feel it like
Honestly,
tenfold.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And that's something I'm learning now, kind of. You feel me?
Which is okay. I mean, it's better late than never. Some people, I feel like, never learned that at all.
You got to be
right?
willing to change, right? You got to
Yeah.
adapt. We talked about adapting already.
Yeah,
right?
and it's hard, man. I mean, like, even just transitioning, from living with my parents my whole life to being married and on your own, like that's adapting, right? Or just
it's like, damn, what I gotta cook tonight? What am I eating, bro?
I'm texting Eunice, like, do I need to make rice? Do we need rice? I don't know.
Yo, how many waters?
Wait, I forgot to make rice. I'm sorry.
Yo, I didn't flip the switch. I didn't plug it in.
I kept it on keep warm this whole time.
Bro, I didn't defrost the chicken.
I'm surprised that I didn't get that. I didn't learn my lesson from when my mom told me to defrost the chicken, bro. And
oh my gosh, bro.
And she's like, I'm almost home. Oh my god.
With the hairdryer in the kitchen.
Is that what you did?
No.
I probably tried running it under the faucet really quick.
And like now I learned that you have to run it under like cold water, not hot water.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yo, working food service for most of my adult life, I learned so many things about food I didn't know.
Yeah.
165 degrees to make sure it's fully cooked.
I remember, this is totally random, but I remember seeing posts. You used to work at the Rogers Center for a bit, no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah? What was that like?
It was fun. To be honest, it was like my first... I stayed there for like almost 10 years, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool. I started like on cash and just had a bad experience. And then I learned how to make pizza.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Really, really chill job. I have a lot of good friends from over there. I had to quit last year because I finally got a full-time job in my field.
Nice.
It's
That's
nice,
great.
you know?
What'd you end up going into? Like, what's your field?
I work in mental health case management.
Amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I went to school for social work.
Cool.
Didn't find a job right away.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to school for social service work and then got hired by my placement.
Cool.
So
That's
that was
great.
Yeah,
amazing.
Literally.
So, what made you gravitate towards that?
Towards mental health?
Yeah.
I just saw a need because in our culture,
sure,
like mental health isn't really addressed.
No.
So I feel like I'm learning so many things now that are very taboo to like my parents, to my sister, and seeing the people around me struggle with their mental health and not being able to help them kind of just made me feel a way. It's like I want to be there to support you, but I'm so terrified of saying the wrong thing. Right? You see people on the edge and you're thinking to yourself like I feel like with social work I kind of had this savior complex going in and that has dissipated because I realized you can't save everybody.
Sure.
Sometimes people don't want to be saved or you don't have the capacity to save them, but people are still people. They still have value intrinsically. Yeah. It's about them seeing that for themselves.
For sure.
Right? So, yeah.
Because at the end of it, I mean, as much as you could have people to support you or motivate you to do things, like you have to be that for yourself.
Of course.
First and foremost.
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
If I feel like if you don't have that in yourself and you lack like that peace internally and like peace of mind in general, it makes it so much harder to go about your life. Yeah. Like you start viewing things very negatively and then it affects your character and then
for sure
it's a snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it just comes full circle when you realize where if you ever have that self-reflective thought like how did I end up like this or how did I end up thinking this way? Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's great, like what you do. That's fantastic, man.
I'm glad you're a teacher, man. You have taught me a lot, so it makes sense, you know?
Yeah, because I especially, I mean, the fact that you brought up sometimes it doesn't get acknowledged and things like that, and when I think about why it doesn't, it's at least for me, sometimes with relationships within our culture, everything just gets swept under the rug.
It's very invalidating.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're not allowed to feel. I didn't get to feel that.
Yeah.
You know, when I told my mom I was sad, I got followed, you know, like
sure.
It wasn't real. And the mentality that like if I ignore it, it will go away. No, it doesn't go away. It festers.
For sure.
Right? It festers. It becomes like a part of your being. You start telling yourself, you start having like these negative affirmations about yourself. And that is detrimental long term.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then if you don't have access to any outlet, or at least a healthy outlet, or even if you don't even know what resources are out there for you to acknowledge those things, then that's when it gets really bad too, right? And you won't really seek that out if all you're hearing from people who are supposed to be the closest to you that just get over it. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, yeah. Remember all the breakups that we'd have to go through in high school, and we're just like consoling each other as teenage boys. Yo, bro, you're a bitch, bro. Just date somebody else, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I honestly, I don't know how much has changed because like I was at Sham for a little bit, but that culture, the like over masculine culture,
the bravado,
like, sure,
yeah,
using the F word a lot,
bro, using the Q word,
like every day,
that is normalized,
just for like even to each other, to whoever, like
just for like clout,
or
like to give them like a sense of superiority,
sure,
or like puff up your chest,
exactly,
like, you know,
yeah.
I'm kind of glad that we weren't like that in a sense. Like, we had our moments.
Sure,
we had our slips.
For
and then we realized, like, yo, this isn't me.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
but it's crazy because some people don't grow out of that. Because like, I could look back at my grade 9 self and be like, yo, the way I spoke and my
I would have pounded my head in, bro.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And, like, you gotta change, right? That's part of it. And or at least, like, understand why you should.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Gotta check yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
And it will be super uncomfortable, but it is necessary. So
yeah, if you're young now and you're thinking about it too, yeah, like
if you don't check yourself now, bro, I don't want you to go to uni or college, depending on what your parents allow for you.
Yeah. And
then end up in a career or field that you don't like, and then you end up resenting all the people that you serve.
Sure.
And then you're miserable, they're miserable. It's a cycle, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
It's okay to explore new things, be open-minded. Like, I didn't think I'd end up where I did. I don't know if you did. But I'm glad I'm here, you know? I'm still here.
For sure. And then it's all about acknowledging that people have different paths, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it was always... I mean, I had the mindset to try to become a teacher, like, younger. Was that instilled in you by your parents, or you always had that idea for yourself? No, it was... In all honesty, my mom wanted me to go into, like medical field, like or dentistry specifically. Because... And that... Why do you think I was in MST in the first place, dude? Because like I wanted to be like a we were different levels, because you were MST and like you took school very, very seriously compared to me. I tried. I mean, I honestly, and this is not like me boasting, I think I mentioned this in the previous podcast, but I sometimes coasted too, because I thought I could just rely on like my smarts, and I probably didn't work as hard as some other people did. And then once it hit me hard, like. Once grade 11 functions hit and I got like a 56, then I'm like, oh, okay. At least you were brave enough to try functions. I did UM. And got a 56. I had to take it because MST was all the way until grade 11, dude. Oh, yeah. But damn, dude, I know. But I think it's, I mean, no matter how like young you are or how old you are, I mean, you can still figure it out and it's not too late. I mean, just like finding a good group of people that you can be yourself around and stuff will allow you to see like, okay, this interests me, can I explore that option? Right? Sure. Gotta think long term, gotta think like, I know a lot of like our parents forced us to think like, oh, be a nurse, be a doctor, you know, like those are lofty goals and they are achievable, but at the same time, like, coming from my tax bracket, I didn't see that. As soon as I told my parents like I wanted to go into social work, they're like, the fuck is that, bro? What do you mean social worker? CPS? Like, how much money does that? How does that pay? How does it pay? Exactly. Right? That's what they're always thinking about. They're gonna say, right? Bro, I told them I wanted to drop out so many times, and like, they're very traditional, you know. So it's just like, we paid all this money, you made it this far. I don't care if there's 2 strikes. You got to do it. You know. What I'm saying. Yeah. It was That's what I didn't appreciate too. I mean, like, I've seen this a lot with people that I know, but it's you get looked down upon if you're young and you're not in school. Yes, you know what I'm saying. I notice that a lot, and it's really weird because even for me as a teacher, like I say it all the time to anyone, like, school's not for everyone. It's not. I know, like, you have to. I would say graduate high school, just get that out of the way, and like at least that opens up a lot of doors for you. But wherever you go from there, you can be successful doing whatever, right? And exactly. You make your own path. For sure. And part of it, too, is that whatever field or whatever career or whatever thing that you're trying to think about going into, right? You got to think, you have to do some self-reflection. Like, what kind of person am I? If you are the type of person, let's say if you're a young Filipino and you've been told to go into nursing, but guess what? You're not a good people person. You're impatient. you can't work on a fixed schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and those aren't bad things. That's just not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Then guess what? Nursing's probably not going to be for you,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And like you said before, if you when you go into that field, then now you're just going to resent the people that you work with, the people that you work for, the people who pushed you to get to that there in the first place.
Yeah.
Why go through that headache?
Yeah, because then you're gonna be miserable and you're going about your life like that.
Yeah.
You don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
It's not fulfilling.
No,
It's not. You're not living up to the potential that you know you have in you.
for sure.
Right? You kind of just settled for somebody else's dream
Mhm.
because you were told that. You were never told to look inside yourself, right?
Mhm.
And I think a lot of us struggled with that at certain points in our
Actually,
lives,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then what? You're gonna just keep going, doing something that pretty much just contradicts yourself.
Mm-hmm. You're
Just
gonna
for the
burn
sake-
yourself out so
Yeah.
fast, bro.
Yeah, it's not gonna feel good,
The
right?
burnout is real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
hard.
I mean, something else I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
So we kind of mentioned it before. I want to go into it a little bit. We'll get a bit funnier with it.
Okay.
Since we got so real. Everyone in high school, or at least in our
Mhm.
group, called me
Yeah.
Bartlett.
Bartlett, by your last name, yeah.
So by my last name, right? So no one ever called me Ryan. There's
Mhm.
even a funny story with JM, or if you're
Oh my, Junalee,
yeah, Junalee.
Junalee Mark.
if you're watching this, shout out.
Yo,
to
shout out to JM.
Shout
That
out
man
to
is in. I think he's in Calgary right
them.
now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I see his mom at church sometimes.
dope.
She's good people. You know, they're
Yeah.
good people.
He's always great people.
Mm-hmm.
I bring him up because people called me Bartlett so much that he thought that was my name. So we'd be in class. It was probably like the first day of a new semester.
Mhm.
So the teacher's like doing attendance or
Roll
right?
call, yeah.
It's like Ryan Bartlett is like, or that's me. It's, or he just said just Ryan. It's like
Yeah.
Ryan here, and then James like,
Who's Ryan?
Who's Ryan?
Who's Ryan? Who's that?
Who's that? I'm like, James, that's me.
Bro, you eat lunch with him every
Right.
day.
Your name's not Bartlett.
I feel like he was like unintentionally funny.
Honestly,
Super.
he
like,
was. He
growing
always
up
made us
with
laugh.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I was always curious, like I don't know who started that. I don't know who started the Bartlett thing. It just kind of happened. And then,
I have no idea because it's funny. There was nobody else in our group named Ryan, right?
Yeah, it's not like we had to mix. Like people got mixed up. We even had two Christians,
Oh
and
my
we
gosh.
didn't even. We called one of the Christians Russell for some
Yeah,
reason.
literally. I don't know where Russ.
from.
Up. Was it from Up?
Oh my God, like the kid.
Yeah,
He looked like-
I don't know.
I don't know. That's such a random.
We just had random nicknames for people for no reason.
Yeah. And that's how I kind of got. So you would play around with it. You'd call me things like you came up with Barflet,
Oh my
and
gosh.
you came up with Sir Barfy Squid.
Oh
Remember
my
that one?
gosh,
that was a
bruh.
good one. But Sir Barfs a lot.
Oh my gosh. I
'Cause-
was King
or-
Roast for some reason. I feel like I didn't
were-
like myself, so I took it out on
No.
other people.
Honestly, when I think about that, you were just like really clever. Honestly,
Okay.
because like it's if anything that shows like that you had some wit about you. You know.
That's a good way to spin
Dude,
it.
I mean, I spin team right here.
Yeah.
But that's how I got like all of my tags like on
Banana
like Insta
Bartlett?
and Twitter Banana Bartlett because
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
said banana because I was like yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
Twinkie came from because I'm yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
If you were mixed another way, you'd be a beef patty. Oh, your cousin.
No, for real. It's just funny because like it also makes so much more sense that name too because
Mhm.
people who meet me they'll never think like I'm part white or anything.
Mhm.
They'll think I'm full Asian, or like I get a lot of Viet, or Filipino, like depending,
Mhm.
or
'Cause
even
you're
like
fair-
Chinese or
fair
whatever.
side, right?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get that.
So it makes sense, right? So the
Mhm.
nickname, you think it's I didn't ever think it was offensive, okay? And I'm allowed to be offended about it if I want to.
Mhm.
Whatever.
I'm glad that you never were, especially looking back at it now.
I mean, I've kept that tag for this long, dude.
For real.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it
just
makes
never bothered to change it.
it works.
Yeah,
It works. Right?
exactly. But I always thought that was funny, just like how that came about and things like that. But
For real.
even it came to a point where you're calling my dad Tito Bartlett. I remember one day I think he was dropping you guys off like in the car. He's like, thanks for the ride to the Bartlett.
Oh my gosh, bro! And then I slammed the door
Yeah.
on my way out. Just like, oh my gosh,
Probably
that kid.
thinking like you're hella rude or something like that. It's like,
Super.
yeah.
Yeah, I always kind of like being at your house and like you know how Filipinos are, right? Like you gotta say hi and bye when you come in, manopo.
Yeah, for
You know,
real.
like, oh yes, I'd like to eat, but not really. You know, like I don't want to take too much food. You know.
Yeah. You always have to have that. You always have to hold back.
Of course.
You always have to say no. I don't want anything.
They have to
when you
insist.
Exactly. When you really, really do want it.
You leave that one lumpia on the table, you know? You're drooling. It's like, nah, tita, I can't. I'm sorry.
I do that at home still, like, or like whenever, like you're just eating at home and there's like one little. I don't want to finish it. Right?
Yeah, I get that.
Yo, like kind of wrapping things up. Where are we at right now? Oh yeah, to kind of wrap things up, is there anything like hobbies or interests or things about yourself that you think have changed, like since we've last spoken or like last known each other and stuff like that?
I think like in high school we started talking about like clothes and stuff. You
Mhm.
still have my green varsity jacket somewhere?
Dude, it's probably buried in boxes.
Okay.
Yo, you know what I should have brought?
Yeah.
I still have that Raptors hat that you sold me.
Oh my gosh,
that.
bro.
Ah man, I should have worn that today, but yeah.
It's funny that you bring up like hobbies and stuff because I got really into like the thrift game.
Yeah.
For a while I was like working at a warehouse like where they process the clothes.
Mm-hmm,
So
I would see your posts about that all the time.
Yeah.
You'd make reels like with you bringing them to like a laundromat and washing them and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. Yeah.
It's different like going from Value Village and like just thrifting nonchalantly thinking like, oh my gosh, a Nike tee,
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren tee, like
yeah.
and then seeing it coming in bins from other countries and having to like dig for like tags, single stitch, all that type of
Sure.
stuff. So like in terms of like the elevation, I feel like I really learned a lot about textiles, where clothes come from and stuff.
Cool.
Unfortunately that didn't work out, but at
Mhm.
the same time I'm glad I got that experience.
Yeah.
I think looking at it now, I just have a deeper appreciation for all of the things that I own.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I told you like my closet is like 95% secondhand, you wouldn't believe it.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's wild.
So what exactly about thrifting kind of like stood out to you? Like
What resonated with me? Okay, so for a long time I kind of felt like I wasn't my own person. I feel like there were so many labels placed on me by all the people around me, my parents, like my
Mhm.
family, my friends,
Mhm.
family friends, titos, whatever, right? I always kind of felt like I was told that I needed to be this doting son that like went to school, got a good job, like got married quick, whatever, right?
Sure.
And like I felt like clothing was kind of my rebellion in that sense.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I never had much money. So when I finally got funds and I realized like, yo, it's so much cheaper to just thrift.
Yeah.
You know, like I
yeah.
hated pulling up somewhere and it's like, you got this from H&M, you feel fly.
Sure.
You go to school on dress down day. Somebody has the same fit as you and you're like, bro, nah, take that off right now.
Right,
you know,
right.
like.
Yeah, it was weird. It's funny that you bring that up because like for those of you who don't know, like Vincent and I, we went to a uniform school,
Oh my gosh.
right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
Ties.
there was benefit, tie, button down, sweater, like everything, all that, right? And
Dress shoes.
yes,
Black
it had
dress
to be
shoes.
black dress shoes.
Mhm.
Nowadays they get away with like black Air
Runners.
Forces or
Yeah,
whatever.
like that's not fair.
I know. Before we couldn't do that.
Like, why'd I have to suffer for you?
Yes,
I built the way, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
My dress shoes had like the backs caved in because we used to just slip them on.
we would not care. Like they would just be shoved into the locker at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I brought that up because, you know, without a uniform, yeah. Good.
Ooh,
You good?
that cough is ridiculous.
It's all good. I bring that up because with a uniform,
Mhm.
you can't really kind of express yourself. So when it came down to dress down day, like that was the time you wanted to show up. Yeah. Yeah. No? Oh, there we go. You good? All right.
Oops.
Let's go. It's all good. It's all good.
So, start over.
Yeah, all the way from the beginning. No, you're
No,
good.
no,
No,
no.
you're fine. You're fine. No, keep going about the when it was dress down day
Oh,
and
when it's dress down day, even
Yeah.
though we went to an all guys school, since we had to be in uniform all the time, you kind of show up and show out. You know, like.
Mhm.
A lot of people would pull out like their designer or whatever, and designer at that time was like Bape or whatever.
Sure,
You
sure,
know?
sure. Tisa.
And yeah,
People wearing Tisa
Tisa.
snapbacks. and
Yo, that was next level because
stuff like that.
as you and I have mentioned before, we didn't really come from money.
Yeah.
So whatever we could find was like that was fly to us.
You had to. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to, right?
We were. talking about hand-me-downs, my Sham uniform was pretty much like 85% hand-me-down.
Yo,
from my cousin who went there.
The quarter zips.
Yeah,
Exactly. When
they
used to fade out though, they were nice.
They were like I still have 2 pairs of them.
Wow, I gave mine away. Mine were from my cousins too.
Yeah, I should give you one.
Yeah,
I should give you one. Yeah,
yo,
I have
you
two.
should, bro.
Yeah,
I'd wear that at work for no reason.
Let me find it. I think I still have to, but
okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
I think like tying that back into like what you bring up about like secondhand clothing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like I like thrifting like when I can, or just like kind of looking at it, or just even learning about how much like clothing affects us, not in terms of just like how we express ourselves, but just like our environment too, and understanding that, you know, clothes aren't everything.
Yeah.
But not to say that how you dress and how you present yourself isn't important. But you can think about, you know, I like the idea of things being timeless.
Yes.
As opposed to like, if I'm gonna buy something, if I'm gonna wear, like, would I wear this in the next years and years and years to come?
Because you think about like all the waste that like fast fashion kind of produces,
for sure,
and like global warming, this and that.
Yeah.
And I just don't see the appeal when I wash a shirt and then it come out like the neck come out wrinkled and I'm cheesed. Like I spent $10 for a white tee at H&M and then like that is shreds by the time I wash it.
Exactly.
One time, you know, like I can't do it.
That lack of quality like is for real, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, even just like trying to take care of the things that you do have and like making them last and things like that, and buying good quality, or just even appreciating the stuff that you do have, because I think sometimes people get caught up in fashion or doing other things because they're too concerned with like
appearance
or trying to come up with trends. And the thing is, like, with social media and how prevalent it is now, trends just die out even faster than ever.
Exactly. It's not about, I feel like some people kind of get lost in it. It's like, it's not even what I like, it's just what's trendy.
Sure.
I like that you mentioned quality, because the way that I look at it, if I thrift something and I see like how it's built, how it's made, how long it's lasted, like I can, working over there, I can like date clothes now, literally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So seeing it and seeing that it survived somebody else, I know it's gonna last me. You know?
Exactly.
And like, it's like a memento. It's like something I want to pass down to my kids. You know.
Sure.
Like, it's like this has a story. It had a story before me. It's gonna have one after me. You know?
Yeah, and I think part of it too, it reflects kind of like, you know, how you kind of grew up, because like when we talk about how we grew up, and like we weren't like super poor, but we weren't like super great either.
It's hand-me-down city.
Yeah, hand-me-down city, or whatever you had to make it last.
Yeah.
Like I was a 1 pair of shoes a year kid,
bro.
So that pair had to last me, like, in everything that I did.
You know like saying? I exclusively bought Vans because I could afford them. So like any like Christmas money that I'd have, Vans, you know.
Right, and I'm not buying, and we're also not buying it at Foot Locker. No. I'm going to SVP or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you're buying the brand, at least they always sell it for cheaper there.
Exactly.
Things like that.
I remember being so jealous of all the kids that had money at our school, bro.
Yeah.
If you told me, like, for this podcast, I'd be wearing a pair of ones that I thrifted.
Oh, yeah.
You would not believe it. You know?
For real. For real. Is your shirt thrifted? I just noticed, like, yo, that's dope, man. The Ocarina of Time shirt.
Seriously. Dickies at P-Mall.
Oh, wow.
There's a thrift over there now,
Oh, shoot. Okay.
This hat.
We were just there, but we were there for mostly the food.
Okay, I see. Pinoy waffles.
Oh no, we didn't get one. No,
maybe they were closed. Maybe they were closed.
We got like onigiri, and we got like katsu and other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever go to the Pinoy waffle spot, they have waffles, but they also have like Filipino street food.
Oh,
like
yeah,
kwek and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, for real. Good. And then there's a thrift over there too, near where they sell cell phone cases.
Which you mean like the 20 stores that sell cell phone cases?
It's in that corridor.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, if I told you these green Dickies were 25, like
I wouldn't believe
there,
you
know?
Yeah. Which is cool, because like you can still have that appreciation for fashion and how you present yourself, but do it in a way that's like, you know,
exactly.
Especially in this environment now, being, you know, more
cost effective.
Yeah, cost effective, maybe a bit eco-friendly too, right? Or just, you know,
just being mindful about the stuff you buy, right? Yeah. Like. Quality lasts you forever. Like, I would much rather have something that doesn't tarnish than something that is trendy.
For sure.
Like, I'd rather be, like, I told you, like, I struggled with finding myself for a long time, and I still feel like I'm trying to find myself. But like, the expression that I have with clothing and just being just being me, like genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, like they tell me dress business casual.
Yeah.
If I tell you I pulled up to work today like this, you wouldn't believe me, right?
Yeah. And sometimes that's okay. Like that's the balance, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned this to Christian in the last episode, but
Yeah.
sometimes I get mixed up as a student, especially when I'm wearing like casual
This
gear.
is a baby face, man.
So I would, I try to dress nice, like I wear a button down or I wear like nice shoes, nice pants, just to stick out a little bit, right? But on those days where it's a Friday and I just want to kind of dress casually, I can do that way. And sometimes I like that a lot because it helps me connect with other people, especially my students.
Yeah.
So when I show up in like my Attack on Titan hoodie, students notice that and they're like, "Oh, that's a cool hoodie." Like you watch anime stars, like like, and then you can spark something. And I feel like even how you even like wearing that shirt around, like that's a conversation starter. You know, it's things like that
so too. Yeah.
You don't get that from a trendy, bulky ass Balenciaga shoe, in my opinion.
You'll see the knockoff, you know. Yo, the Balenciagas.
Dude, I'd be passing by those stores and I'd be like, this is $1,500. This right here.
Bro, you know how many chicken nuggets I could get for $1,500?
Yo, for real.
What? You know how many rice bags that is?
Yo.
That's my rent, bro. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's hard,
right?
Man.
Yeah.
Just being conscious about money and stuff now.
Sure. Because it doesn't have to affect, like you being conscious of your money doesn't have to affect how you present yourself, right?
Exactly.
You just gotta hunt a bit harder, I guess, you know?
Yo, the digging is crazy.
Yeah, I'd be seeing those videos. You'd be like, they come in like these huge like wagons, like full of them, and you're just
yo, the bins, like the bins that you'd use at like No Frills, you're just digging through clothes, and it's like one is rags, so like they kind of stink. Like you can't use gloves because you gotta feel the product, all this and that, bro. Just learning about like how all these clothes like come about, right? Is ridiculous.
It's like real life treasure hunting.
Of course. And I always kind of like that, you know, like the search for something exclusive, something that nobody has, you know. Like if I told you I could probably flip this tee when like the Legend of Zelda game came out, right?
Sure.
Like if I told you I could have flipped it for like 120, but I just chose to keep it in my closet for myself, right?
Yeah.
Like it's at a certain point, money doesn't even mean nothing to you anymore. It's just like there's so much value in the things that you own, the things that you surround yourself with, right? Like,
yeah.
I learned that a long time ago because I kind of just used to thrift to like resell.
Sure.
And then I seen how toxic that culture became, and I was like, not trying to be a part of that. That's not me, you know. If you like clothes, then sure, you know, find the thing that you like and just stick with it because it'll pay off in the end.
For sure.
It might not be what you envisioned, but still what you like, right?
No, I hear you.
I never thought I'd end up at a thrift. Crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, we could probably go for hours, you know. And maybe one day we'll come back and we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
Something that I wanted to, like, just to wrap up, something I wanted to ask everyone that I was gonna do this.
Okay.
Because you're still in the area and things like that.
Yeah.
What's your go-to spot to eat?
My go-to spot to eat?
That maybe I want to check out because maybe I haven't been there before, things like that. If you had to choose one, you probably have a lot, but like, what's like a staple to you?
I don't even have a consistent spot that I go to eat.
Okay.
I like Chongchun's just because it's quick.
Yo, Chongchun's?
Chongchun's
yeah,
is sick, but in terms of like I like Korean food.
Yeah.
Dongne.
Oh, okay. Like
cheese corn,
like the K-barbecue,
and like because the marbling of the meat and like the quality of the meat is
good,
like next level. You feel me? It's really good. Yeah.
Funny story about Dadongne is that we've been there once.
Yeah.
And like I ordered the meat and I was like,
what is
this? Dang, this is all you get
for that price? Yo, holy!
It was to be fair, it was really good.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, especially like where I'm at in life, I'm a very quantity over quality kind of guy.
if it's not all you can eat, I'm not going.
Yo, that's what I'm saying.
I need unlimited rice.
I thought it was like, can I just buy this thing, meat, all you can eat? And I was like, oh, it's just this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're like, yo, my wallet hurt.
Yeah, and I think we probably just ended up eating somewhere else after because we weren't hungry enough. But yeah, Korean spots. For me, there's a place called Yummy.
Yummy?
In Koreatown.
Okay, in Koreatown.
That's my go-to.
That's your go-to?
That's my go-to. They have like stone bowl, bibimbap, or like their pancakes, like their seafood pancake is really good.
Okay, yeah.
Or like their japchae is good. Like things like that. They have like the staples, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't go that too deep into Korean food. Like
Bulgogi's pretty nice too.
Yeah.
Probably near Yummy.
For real.
Is it Young and Finch that you're talking about?
Oh,
Koreatown, or you're talking about Christy?
I'm talking Christy.
Okay, that makes
Christy.
sense. Yeah.
But I'm also around like that Young and Finch area.
Yeah.
A lot
Bro,
too.
for karaoke, of course.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Or just good spots. Like you can't find a bad spot to eat there.
Because it's also 24/7, so even better.
Yeah.
Because like the way life is now, it's just like I'm not trying to go out in crowds. You feel me?
No, I'm not trying to be out late. I'm also trying to go home early to sleep.
Facts. Sleep is so important, bro.
Yeah. I cannot be
kids
like
watching this at like 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yo, go to bed. Turn this off right now. Go to bed.
Get your sleep.
Go to bed.
You got school.
Yeah.
You got work.
If you're in Sudbury still, then I enjoy it. But and then like to wrap it up, because I'm always trying to like expand like my musical horizons.
Yeah.
So is there like one quintessential album that's like every person needs to listen to this, or like I need to listen to this? If you could choose one, I mean, there's too many.
Remember how I put you on Childish Gambino?
Yeah.
That song, Not Going Back. I forget. I feel like it was an EP.
Yes, it was like
Okay.
before. It was like a really, really early EP when he wasn't, because he kind of blew up. Like
Yeah,
after we started following him, like not
Mhm.
to be a hipster about it, but like
Oh my gosh.
he blew up. Right.
Yeah. I liked Camp a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about like albums that somebody need to listen to,
Yeah.
like Nas, Illmatic.
Nazilmatic. Yeah.
Because like I'm just heavy on the rap, you know.
For real.
I feel like that culture, especially growing up as a Filipino over here, it's like you see yourself on, like you see differences on BET, and it's like now I can afford all the clothes, I can look like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that influenced me pretty heavy. you
It's
know?
funny that that's kind of the culture that a lot of us kind of
Gravitated.
seem to. I was
Yeah.
kind of like, I kind of dipped my toes in it. I was kind of like like a jack of all trades. At least I tried to
Yeah,
be. Like
yeah.
I wasn't too much of a hip hop head like you and everyone else was.
Yeah.
But
You can appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. I can
exactly.
appreciate anything that's good, you know.
Mhm.
But
Like produced well,
Yeah.
beats are nice, lyricism.
exactly.
Lyricism's so important, man.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
if you're not actually telling me something, then nah, I'm good.
So as someone who would recommend like something more in the 90s genre, what's your take on like rap nowadays?
today?
Yeah.
It's a lot of like, it's very braggadocious. It's very like kill people, murder people, and it's like that isn't necessarily what I align myself with.
Sure.
I see that there's a market for it, and I see that people get a sort of like confidence in
Mhm.
dealing with that type of thing. But
Mhm.
I'm good on that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it's not for everybody.
Sure.
And it's not for me. And whoever it's for, that's cool too.
Yeah.
You know, do your thing. But
Yeah.
there is more out there. You just got to be open-minded
Yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
And my thing is that too is like, look, I probably wouldn't roast anyone for their musical taste. Like you listen to what you listen to and stuff like that.
You like it, so that's you.
Yeah.
You know?
My thing is that, I think you should have some awareness of what you consume,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
and the end of it should reflect who you are, right?
Mhm,
So
'cause-
if all you
yeah.
listen to is music about like killing and murder and
Yeah, like you become
misogyny and things-
desensitized to it.
sure, and then if
Yeah.
it becomes a reflection of yourself as well, right?
Mhm,
So like,
mhm. You're in the whip and you press shuffle, and then something come on. You're with some girl and you're just like, bro, this is not me. This is me.
yeah. Hey, and don't be ashamed too. I think that when you're younger too, like don't be ashamed of what you listen to as well. Like, hey,
Yeah.
if I throw on a girly K-pop song sometimes, that's the mood, and that's
Bro,
what
racing
that's
into
what
the
I'm about. Yo, all right. So that's why I think when I spoke about this with Christian before,
Mhm.
but I once like post-secondary hit,
Yeah.
I really got into the indie scene, so that's kind of like where I gravitated
I see.
towards and things like that. So
Cool.
yeah.
Like own production and everything, just
Yeah.
like artsy.
More like
Yeah.
or just like independent artists who are like, or just
Yeah.
less top 40 stuff, but just who are in it mostly for the art. Like they're still popular and things
course.
like that, but
course.
their intentions are different. And hey, there's still good pop
Mhm.
music out there. Like I won't
Mhm.
rag on pop and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I still listen to it too, but
Yeah.
there are so many people who are making spectacular things. So just try to dig a bit deeper. you
Of
know?
course, yeah. I feel like it's very comfortable on the surface,
Sure.
and then once you start digging deeper, you see the iceberg, and you're like, bruh, I didn't know all this was here.
Yeah.
I like this, you know.
Yeah. And especially now, it's if anything, it's more accessible than ever.
Of course,
Right.
Yeah, you just gotta look for it, right? You
Yeah.
gotta make the time. Stop doing those things that you know you shouldn't be doing. You feel me?
Oh my God.
That's why you're up at 3 a.m.
What are you watching at 3 a.m.? You shouldn't be up at 3.
I'll lie. Take that popcorn out. Put it back.
Most things good don't happen at 3 a.m.
What was it? How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
so just go to bed.
Yeah. Like just sleep on it, man.
Sleep it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Vince, man, I appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank
man.
you for having me, man.
It's been really cool. The blast from the past.
Literally.
You know, the reason why I'm doing this in the first place, just it's hard to make time, especially nowadays too. Like
Honestly,
everyone's busy. Everyone's got their own things going on, which I respect.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought if I was gonna catch up with people, I wanted to do something creative with it, and I appreciate you just taking the time out to do this.
Yeah, man, for sure. I was honored that you'd asked me, right? Like, we didn't keep in touch, but there was no bad blood.
No.
I feel like we had our moments in high school, and like going forward, it's always cool to see or be a part of the things that people that you cared about were doing.
For sure.
Right? Like,
or just knowing that we're all good.
Of
like
course.
we're still here.
Of course, yeah,
You know,
exactly. There were moments in high school where we all kind of thought like, "Yo, I hope they're still there."
That's
you know,
what I'm saying, right?
So yeah, shout out to those guys too at the table.
Yeah,
I know we'll also be there.
yeah.
Still love.
All love. Last thing.
Okay.
Who do you think I should hit up to do this?
Oh, I could connect you with Felix, bro.
Yeah.
Felix is, like, I play ball with him a lot, right?
Cool.
So I know he'd be down to do this.
For real.
He is, like, you think I'm covered in tattoos? He is next level, bro. He is next level. When you talk about expression.
Yeah. I'd love to talk about, like, I know he's been through like a fitness journey as well.
Yes,
so that would be really cool to talk about.
Yeah,
as well.
I think that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, Felix, if you're watching this, it died.
Oh,
so
shoot.
This is just for the audio listeners. And if Felix, do you want me to stop? Are you sure? Did it just die right now? That's okay. I'll record this last bit. Record this last bit. Good thing we charge those extra batteries. Yeah, I think having Felix on would be great. So Felix, if you are watching this for some reason, I'd love to have you on. Maybe I'll hit you up before it even comes out. So this is irrelevant to you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just to wrap things up. Thank you for everyone for listening to this and things like that. You know, life changes and people who you used to speak to, you know, you drift apart and things like that happen and stuff like that. Maybe just reach out to someone. Just send them a little IM or IM.
Holy.
Whoa, okay.
Yo, add me on MSN.
Send them a DM or something. Just like catch up, ask them how they've been.
How's
Even if
life?
it's something like really small, I'm sure they would appreciate that.
Of course, I appreciated it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Vince, thanks, man.
Love, man.
Thanks. Guys, thanks for listening. Take care out there. Stay safe. Peace out.
Stay safe.